So hi everyone, today in this video we're going to develop another mental model that can be useful for you, since mental models are representations about how the reality works. And as much more you grasp it, higher is the probability of you getting what you want. And what you want is prosperity. And due to get prosperity, you need to get the right type of feedback. So feedback, it's something that you take based in actions that you do that creates feedbacks, and these feedbacks are normally results that you got here. But for that, you depend in the actions that you take, and obviously in the environments that you are, the people with how you interact, and then they will determine how they will respond to the stimulus that you emit for the environment that you are present on. And then obviously to understand what is the best type of ways to get feedbacks that you want, the obviously positive ones and avoid the negative ones, you kind of rely in having information. You kind of rely in having the ability to observe the data, to make interpretations about that data. And then obviously it's here that enters the importance of knowing mental models, since they are like the building blocks, the essence of the informations that are obviously taken from studies that we do, and obviously these type of building blocks, these informations, these pieces, we use it to kind of base the arguments that sustain the actions that we do. And as much more you have these principles that are so aligned with what really happens in the reality, higher is the probability of you getting the good outcomes that you expect to get in your life. So what's going to be the mental model that we're going to talk today? It's an economic one that's called the Bootleggers and Baptists. So it's a paradox. Why strange aliens control your life. But then what's like the core idea of this mental model? So these Bootleggers and Baptists Paradox explains why opposing groups, one morally motivated, the other self-interested, often team up to support the same regulation or law. And this was named after the Prohibition era alliance between the Baptists, who wanted alcohol banned for morality, and the bootleggers who profit from illegal sales. And then this model, it aims to reveal how hypocritical type of policies persist because they serve hidden agenda. So it's what could be the core idea of this. But then obviously for that, I'm gonna I would like to go a bit deeper and understand better how it works. So what's like bullet points I would like to touch: the moral crusaders. And it's like what's the importance of moral crusaders? So like a group has supports a law for ethical reasons, like environmentalists banning plastics to save oceans. And then obviously we have the other side. A second point I would like to do, that's another group, that is the sacred profiters, a group B that supports the same law to eliminate competition or create black markets, like example paper straw companies lobbying against plastic. So see how in some of the politics you want the one that's focused more in how morally if it's something is wrong or not. So in that example I gave, a group A that supports the law that bans illegal plastics to save the oceans, it's ethical because they think in the life of the fishes, even in the life of humans, and how this impacts by the pollution of our systems. But we have other ones that is the second profiters, the group B that wants the same law as the group A, but with the objective to kind of make it easier for them to perform to get profit. And see how this creates the unholy alliance. Both groups lobby for the policy, making it seem public spirited while masking the profit motive. And some of the times what this does happen is the secret profiters, they are like the financing type of player in that role as well, and they tend to support this first group, the group A, that's more like communication wise, they're better in that skill, and then are the ones that tend to be in the media, and then are the ones that just talk ethically, but they are under them exists a whole type of financing applied by these sacred profiters that have this type of alliance with the moral crusaders, and it's something that happens a lot with a lot of the agendas that we say today. And then obviously, so it creates unholy alliance. But also, what are like the real world examples, like the agendas that we see a lot? Green energy mandates, we see this a lot. Environmentalists push solar subsidies to fight climate change. Oil giants like Shell support them to sell overpriced renewable credits and delay fossil fuel phase outs. An interesting dynamic that we see a lot. We have the alcohol laws. Health groups back strict liquor license limits to reduce addiction. And how what I like the profit seekers, big retailers like the Total Wine lobby for the same rules to crush small competitors. We have the tech regulation. Privacy advocates demand strict data laws. And we have what are like the profit seekers? Facebook and Meta supports them to raise compliance costs and kill startups that can't afford lawyers. So see how this interesting dynamic for all other agendas, the people that puts their face in the media, we have under them the profit seekers, big organization, obviously financing the and accordingly so what benefits more and so what these agendas will make the the general population behave in a certain way that obviously benefits these profit seekers. But then so that we have understood it, we have give examples, real world, how it works these dynamics, like the alignment of incentives, but then so why it matters. I think everyone's got it. Stealth progress comes with that. Good intentions get ejected by corporate greed, like carbon offset scams. Higher prices, fake ethical policies create monopolies like organic food cartels, and public cynicism, so people lose faith in reforms when they realize elites profit the most. So it's something that everybody gets that it exists a lot. But then, so now that we've understood it, why it matters, I think it's clear as well. We should focus so in the phases of the solution. It's where we should spend our time more. But then, so how to break the cycle? I would say so. Follow the money. Hollis West who profits if this law passes. A hint why that could be so follow lobbyist donations. So follow the money, understanding how profits if the law passes to understand and create hypotheses in what are like the powerful people that benefit from a specific law. And then so obviously by understanding it, you understand better what so are these profit seekers. Sunset clauses automatically end laws after 5 years unless renewed by evidence, not lobbying. Transparency force public disclosure of all groups backing a policy, including hidden funders, and support grassroots-backed movements without corporate ties, like the Greatest Friday for Future versus Big Oil's Green PR. So, obviously, I give some of the generic examples, but obviously, all these type of solution. So, to solve this specific dynamic, it has to be more developed than just like common generalist type of solution. So it has to be more integrated, a bit more complex. But then, so obviously with times, it's something that I really believe that we could develop. But obviously, to first, we always should start by working at the best as we can in identifying the mental model, and also just after that we can deal and understanding then by existing it, by clarifying how they work, and also see how we can make it not happen when there are some bad ones. So I expect this video was helpful enough for you to understand so how important is it to you to understand with certain actions, certain behaviors, events that tend to happen. It's also important to understand the incentives. So people work with incentives. We're humans. We all are humans. Even more powerful, less powerful. Everyone works with incentives. And then so you have to understand if something is happening, it's because someone understands that it's satisfying their type of objective. Someone has incentives to do it. And then so by you understanding it, the type of action that's happening, you could also start looking and thinking what whole are like the type of people that benefits with that. And then so obviously we can even reach some patterns that we see specific groups of people, a lot of them that tend to benefit from a lot of the agendas that are created and then so you see how the power tends to be centralized, and you kind of have so a tendency to perceive what's like the objective that they're showing with so what are the changes that they are promoting, and that's how obviously you can understand better these hidden type of forces that they don't tend to show up that much. So I expect this video so was make you gain insights. I expect this was enough to have me like, subscribe, and if you have may like other videos and may trigger your interest, feel free so to see it. Without more to say, thank you.